Change your life today. Don't gamble on future. Act now without delay. This is RADHASRINIVAS and I'm here to discuss the second part of French Revolution grade 9. At the end of the session, there is a questionnaire. You need to answer those questions in the comment box. So stay tuned. We are going to learn two topics: the outbreak of French Revolution and France becomes constitutional monarchy. France is bankrupt. Yes, France was not in a position to clear the debt. Louis XVI lavished money on himself and his residence Versailles. Marie Antoinette was a wasteful spender. Royal treasury depleted, and privileged classes were reluctant to being taxed. All these factors compelled Louis XVI to call a States General meeting. What is old regime? Old regime is a social and a political system during 1770s in France, where monarch had no power to impose taxes. So he called a States General meeting on May 5th, 1789. What is a States General? A States General is a political body where all the three estates sent their representatives. You can see the voting procedure under old regime. So first estate had 300 members, second estate had 300 members, and third estate 600 members. But did you notice that each estate had only one vote? First estate, one vote, second estate, one vote, and third estate, one vote. Obviously, the first and the second estate are going to combine and suppress third estate. They are not ready. They are not going to give up their privileges. Each estate had one vote. The Assembly of Estates General held on May 5th, 1789. You can see in the picture, the first estate and the second estate were seated facing each other, whereabout the third estates are standing. Here, the third estate demands for each individual should be given a voting right, a right to vote. One person, one vote. And this democratic principle was picked up from Social Contract of Rousseau. But here, Louis XVI did not agree for third estate demand. So the third estate boycotted the meeting. Formation of National Assembly. So all the representatives of third estate assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court in the grounds of Versailles on June 20th, 1789, declared themselves as a national assembly. And they wanted to draft a constitution for the France. And they have taken oath on June 20th that they are not going to disperse until they finish writing the constitution. The famous personalities in helping or making of the France constitution were Abésius and Mirabeau. Both were one from first estate and the second one from second estate. Abésius was a writer, a political writer. In his pamphlet, What is Third Estate? He described about the situation of third estate, as well as this pamphlet become a one of the influential book in the French Revolution, during the French Revolution, which turned the Estates General to a National Assembly. And Mirabeau. Mirabeau was a political leader, a politician and an orator. He was one of the greatest figures during the French Revolution, the first phase of French Revolution. It's unfortunate that he died before the French Revolution has come to the radical climax. The outbreak of the French Revolution. We know about what happened on 14th July 1789. The agitated crowd stormed into a Bastille prison and demolished it. And here, the National Assembly was busy writing the Constitution. But what about the countryside? It was seethed in turmoil, where you can see the destruction, devastation, agitation, and revolts. Severe winter that rose the prices of the bread. Because of a severe winter, bad harvest, and a rise of bread, the prices of bread raised. Here, the bakers have taken the advantage of the situation and hoarded the supplies. To gain profit, they hid the stock, saying that there is no stock. And when the price raised, they started supplying it at high prices. Standing in a long queue for hours, the frustrated women stormed into shops and looted the bread. And there was a rumor that lords of manor have hired the band of brigands, robbers, where they will come and destroy the ripe crops of peasants. So these peasants took the tools like hoes and pitchforks and entered into the residence of clergies and nobles. Chateaus, that is a clergy where clergies reside, and a manor is a residence of nobles. So they entered into the residence, into the manors. They fought with them. They have destroyed the building. They have destroyed the residence. They destroyed even the documents which had the feudal dues. So this incident marked the beginning of French Revolution. So recognition of National Assembly on 4th August 1789. But seeing the situation in the country, Louis XVI has to recognize it. Even nobles fled to other countries. That was a great fear took place in France. So at the end, on 4th August 1789, Louis XVI recognized the National Assembly and accepted that now his power is going to be checked with the Constitution. Here we can see that when he recognized it, so it abolished all the taxes, as well as feudal taxes and the tethers and the taille. All the taxes were abolished. And even the churches, that is a clergy people, have to give up their members of the clergy, members of the church have to give up their privileges. So all the privileges were abolished, taxes were abolished, privileges were abolished. And now they confiscated the land from the members of the church, that is a first estate, and they could acquire a 2 billion livres. France becomes a constitutional monarchy. So 1791, it has come up with a new constitution where it limited the powers of the king. And the second one is the powers was allotted, the powers was given to the different organs. It was distributed into different organs like legislative, executive, and judiciary. So these two things are democratic. These are the democratic features. So limitation of powers of monarch and the distribution of power. So this made the France a constitutional monarchy. And the political system under the Constitution of 1791. Now we will discuss the undemocratic feature here. That is, here we can read two types of citizens. One is active citizen and next one is a passive citizen. Active citizens had right to vote. So about 25 years of age and who can pay 3 days of laborer's wage, they were eligible for an active citizen. They come under the active citizen. And the passive citizens are the children and who couldn't pay the taxes and men below 25 years of age. They were passive citizens. Now, so here you can see that how they voted. Active citizens voted electors. Electors in the sense who have the right to vote in the election. So active citizens elected electors. Electors again elected National Assembly and National Assembly elected ministers. But here one more thing is that to being a elector, to qualify as an elector and a member of assembly, they should be highest bracket of taxpayer. So this was a political system under the Constitution of 1791, and women were nowhere discussed. Declaration of Rights of Men and Citizens. In Indian Constitution begins with a preamble, and the France Constitution begins with Declaration of Rights of Men and Citizens. So there were few important rights, inseparable rights, which were given to the men of France. That is a right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, and equality before law. Inalienable rights means inseparable. By birth, they have those rights. Now, political symbols. So the population of France, most of the population of France were illiterate during 1770s. So they used certain symbols to communicate. Sceptre is a royal symbol. The power, it indicates the power, and ornamental stuff in the hands of the king. The eye within the triangle, it symbolizes knowledge. We need to wipe ignorance by gaining knowledge. Broken chain, that is a freedom, symbol of freedom or liberty. The law tablet, rule of law, all are equal. Ring, snake putting tail in its mouth, and ring which has no end. So eternal, it is eternal, there is no end to it. The winged woman, that is personification of law. When we put life to the law, it is seen as the winged woman. Phrygian cap. Phrygian cap is worn by slave upon becoming free. Bundle of rods. Unity is strength. It indicates that when we are united, it is more powerful. Blue, white, and red, the flag color of France. We have come to the end of the session, and here you are with questions. You need to answer these questions in the comment box. What did the Bastille symbolize? Armed force of France, prestige and power, and despotic power of the king. Second question. Which of the following constituted the privileged class? Clergy and nobility, first and a third estate, or a peasants and nobility? Third question. Political body of France. Duma, Estates General, Lok Sabha. Thank you and have a great day.